from the Memoir to 40.
In the front, it's nice and sunny, I guess.
Memoir to 40, the autobiography of David Smith. We just finished college, and he's like, what's he going to do now? He's going to go on a cross-country trip to California. He goes with David, so he gets David Cherry is a good Beethoven sonata player, and his brother's house is in San Francisco or Alameda. We go together. We stop in Salt Lake City, and I remember the lights at Reno. In San Francisco, I saw Haight-Ashbury Corner and the City Lights bookstore. And somehow I take the bus to Los Angeles, and I stayed with my cousin Roberta Ryder in Brad Gilman's house in Pasadena. I went and visited the Getty Museum and saw the beach at Santa Monica and UCLA. I find a ride going all the way back east on the ride board at UCLA. I got a ride to Las Vegas and Utah to Denver, and I was impressed with the mountains and the mountain passes, and here I am up in the mountains of Colorado. I had my first taste of Colorado in the West. I liked it then. Actually, later on in 2012, I again took a cross-country drive across the U.S. out west. 1980, 1980, I'm living back. There I am, back in Ohio. Weight 165, blonde, blue eyes, 5'10". That's my ideal weight. I'm living in Ohio, and then John Lennon died.
5'10" is your ideal weight?
5'10's my ideal weight. My weight was 165. Oh, John Lennon died. I had a spiritual experience which I forever now associate with John Lennon's death. I was thinking about John Lennon's death at the time. I sort of felt like the end of my youth, with John Lennon dying and the end of an era. I was lying on the bed, and a powerful force rushed up through my spine. I felt like the fireman's hose blasting through water through my spinal column. There was a movie about Yogananda of the autobiography of Yosi Called Awake, where he says, God is in the spine. As this force came up, it is like it had to pass through all my chakras. The force ended up in my head as serpent heads. So I saw the serpents in my head. I took it to be the Kundalini. Later on, I read The Serpent Power by Arthur Avalon. Oh, I believed in the Kundalini. And later on, I believed, existence Kundalini. In fact, it was always uncomfortable. I felt if I felt one of my chakras was blocked, I could feel like a knot in my spine. Without the knot, you had better flow or energy. The book was better than I expected to be, and I became convinced that there are two main approaches to yoga. One uses sensory currents, the other uses the motor currents. The author admits somewhere in the book. That Kundalini is much harder than Dhyana yoga and perhaps not suited to modern life. Kirpal Singh says about the same thing in The Crown of Life. It is notable that Kirpal Singh is not saying Kundalini does not exist. He is saying it is dangerous. But meditating and reading this book, I could have come to believe that a Dhyana yogi should not neglect the body. As Arthur Avalon says, a stable physical body is the principal building block for achieving a stable mind or a still mind, and then enlightenment. The other book that I read in 2015 was the book Yoga Tradition by George Firestein. There's the serpent power. Well, I think I should stop there. It covers California. That's part 11.
So fast, California was like nothing.
Yeah, California.
1, 2, 3, and out. Hello.
Kundalini. And somehow that was meant. It was not a short story, a long story about California. Here I am in.
Yeah.
That's not even California.
Why didn't you stay in California?
Dear, I could tell you about California. I went to the beach. I went to San Francisco. I went cross country.
Did you listen to the song?
What?
C'est une maison blanche.
What song?
C'est une maison bleue à côté de la colline.
What's that? California Dreamin'? I was California Dreamin'. Oh,
San Francisco, it's the San Francisco song.
It's a hippie kind of thing. I went to San Francisco.
San Francisco.
What about California?